This is JK Sports, John Klinnert from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and I want to welcome you, John, here, and thank you so much for participating in this. So tell me, John, you have a sporting goods, retail, and wholesale company here. Tell me about it. When did it start?
Well, I got started in 1987. I was a school teacher, a coach, and a high school principal until 1987, and I was 40 years of age. And I think sometimes when you're 40, you're at a T in a road, which way you're going to go. And I decided to try something, and basically started out of the station wagon and started at home. Then I worked for somebody in Detroit Lakes. That didn't work out, and somebody in Brainerd. And the guy knew me, played for the New York Giants, and knew who I was, and that really didn't work out. So I said, I can do it on my own because I believe in honesty and integrity, and I always say what's on my mind. I don't beat around the bush. And so that's how basically I got started.
John, what were you doing before again? You were a principal, is that correct? Now there you were used to getting a steady paycheck. What was that like when you were making that first decision to change?
Well, that was a big decision because I didn't have a dollar in my pocket. Yeah. But I had a good banker in Ron Chebik over in Underwood, and Ron's the one that took care of me. Obviously, that was before some of the new banking laws that they have where they scrutinize everything that you do, you know. And so he covered me. That's how I got started.
Where did you start? Did you start in that beautiful building you have now, or?
No, I moved into that building on November 22nd, 1997. I was out of my house, and then I was downtown, where was it? Right by the Viking Cafe, which is the flour mill now. And then we went over by Ben Franklin and stopped and think about it. And I was over to Ben Franklin and decided to buy a piece of property and bought it from one of your employees here, Jerry Warner. And that's how I got started. Everybody worried about me, what I was going to do, but I didn't worry about it because I felt I can do it.
You felt inside you that you could do it, and you were willing to take the risk?
Oh, yeah. Everybody else worried about the risk. I didn't worry about that. I got strong faith in God that, that I'll be taken care of as long as you work hard and are honest with people and not afraid. I grew up on a farm, so, we got Sunday afternoon off, but I'm not worried about 80, 90 hours a week. That's no big deal to me.
Now, how many employees do you have now, John? And did it just start with you alone?
Yeah, I was all by myself, and I found somebody to embroider for me, and I found somebody to screen print, and we have about 15. I do have 2 sons involved with me that I'm incorporated with, but I'm still 51% of the owner.
You are doing wholesale, you do manufacturing of custom coats and embroidery, and then you also do retail and some online. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a lot of internet too. Actually, our retail is only last year was 14.8% of our business. Yesterday I was showing a person never been in my store, and we were pulling things out of the UPS bag and the Postal Service bag, and we pulled out 16 boxes before we hit a second state for the second time. So we ship all over the United States, all over the world, and it's jksports.com that you can go on to. The retail actually used to be up 25-30%, but what's happening now, and this is one of the big changes, in which is hard to convince bankers and people to understand what this internet business is all about. Right now, our retail store is entwined with the internet, and so if somebody buys in Georgia buys a Adidas sweatshirt, they'll find it online, and then it'll go off our retail, and so no longer do we have it in the retail, and we pull that out. The internet sales keeps going up all the time. The most we've ever sold to or shipped in one day was 46 states and 8 foreign countries.
John, did you imagine you would ever have a business this large when you started back in 1987? Did you picture it like this, or did it just happen, or how did it happen for you?
It just happened. It just happened, and I always look at it as the glass is always half full rather than half empty. And I have a little jar with some holy water on my desk that's over half full, and I look at that all the time because that's the way you have to look at life.
Do you have like a guaranteed paycheck, or do you know how much your paycheck is every month, or how does that work?
No, I'm the lowest, on an hourly basis, I'm the lowest paid in the whole business. Sometimes the checks get stacked up 2 or 3 deep before there's enough money to cash it. And so it is what it is, and I'm a young 63 years of age. I know that most of my friends are retired, whatever. People talk to me about that, but I got to get the debt paid down, and I've been blessed with great health, and as long as I get good health, I'll keep getting up every morning and going to work. Yeah. I don't think about hours. I don't think about, I got 40 hours, or I got Veterans Day off, or a certain day off. I just get up and go to work.
If someone were going to start their own business, John, what would be a critical personal trait, 1 or 2, that you'd say they really should have if they're going to start their own business?
Be willing to work, 70, 80 hours a week, first of all. You have to be honest with people. You have to have integrity, and you just plain have to outwork your competition. You have to, unfortunately, you think about it when you're driving a car here and you're driving there, and you got to be willing to sleep less than 8 hours a day.
What has your business done for your employees and their families, John, in your estimation?
Well, obviously we provide jobs, and all my employees know when I hire them is that God and family are more important than the job. And so if they have to take off for one of their children, or their spouse, or their mother-in-law, or whatever it happens to be, that's number one. And we never look at work as number one. And so therefore it's very rare that anybody ever quits, because you can only afford to pay so much, but the flexibility is very important to them, and I allow that flexibility.
How has the economy affected your business, John?
It really hurt us. It's come back. It really hurt us last year because the schools were cut about 35%, and so some of the school superintendents or business managers said you can only have 1 basketball for the season rather than the normal 6 or 8, and you're supposed to get uniforms. No, you got to wait another year. And then I think a lot of business people that actually made a profit were holding on till the end of the year and to see what's happened. But we see the corporate world coming back, and school people doing it. The biggest factor is the banks are so regulated that it's so hard to get money. If you have money today, there is money to be made, because so many of the companies have great deals, but you have to have the cash in order to put it out.
Would you do it over again, John?
I'd do it over again, but I'll tell you one thing is that you're not going to learn about it by going to college and tech school and whatever. I really truly believe that it starts as a young kid, that if you are fortunate to be raised by parents who teach you work ethics, and you work hard, and you're honest with people and so forth like this, that's where I think it really starts. And then I think the other thing too is that just dealing with numbers. My father, was talk about multiplication tables, and when I was in 3rd grade, I knew them all the way up to 12 times 12, and some of the people were worried about 1 times 2, and they brought that up in my 40th class reunion. And so I think if you're going to be in business, you have to be a person that can deal with numbers. And then it helps to remember names and people and that type of thing, too. That does make a difference. If
you could say one thing about America and being a businessman in America, what would you say?
Well, I'm proud that when we make jackets, this is made in Fergus Falls. And I am one of these people who, when I hear somebody that sings or Star Spangled Banner or whatever, sometimes I get a little tear in my eye. I think as we look forward to the Veterans Day here, is that I'm proud to be American.